Hi Sagittarius, here's a general look at your solar chart for March 2014. Now I'm going to do it a little bit differently this time. I'm just going to give you a nutshell version and then I'll go on to the more detailed description, but you can find out more details like which dates of birth in your sign are being affected by certain transits on my website DianaGarland.com. So the nutshell version, well, the overall vibe is a new chapter in your deeper feelings and the possibility of a shift positively enhancing finances through a key relationship, or maybe a series of key relationships. In March, the home base, family or property matters will be a strong feature, and you may be battling with deeply ingrained patterns from the past and striving to clear the decks for some new growth, some new green shoots to come up. But this is very future orientated, this phase, and you may have a quiet sense of urgency to get the ball rolling with something which has been gathering dust on the shelf maybe for a long time. From the end of the month, it's a wonderful moment to make a sort of a breakthrough into new areas, mentally or physically. So time to hit the road, and you know how to do that, don't you, Sagittarius? Now that's the nutshell. In more detail, there's a new moon on the 1st in Pisces, and that's mixing well with your ruling planet Jupiter and Pluto, who are a little bit at odds with each other still. But for you Sagittarius, despite the general tendency to maybe resist or stick to a previous plan or a position, if you were to let go and shift that position a little bit, even though you will be dropping something along the way, you could end up gaining more because you've got something there which is now more value to you. So you've got to weigh things up and let go of one thing in order to preserve another. Until the 21st, the focus will probably be more in and around a base of operations or within a locality, or maybe points on the map. Maybe it's to do with property matters, maybe it's to do with family, maybe it's to do with a neighborhood or a community. Buying, selling, that kind of thing, renting, leasing, that could be a feature, and also things like home improvements and in some respects your gaze, you'll be mulling things over a bit, your gaze will tend to be turned a little bit more inwards as you ponder things, and also maybe feel things a little bit more deeply, but just listen to your instincts. Until the 18th, Mercury is in a very outgoing, chatty area, so although you're sussing things and sounding things out in a way and feeling and sensing more and of your inner reactions in your inner world, it's still very chatty time, and you could be sharing information with others, you know, really keeping the mental processes busy there, even sourcing information, making connections with people. So increased interchanges are likely through speaking, writing, and any other medium of expression, probably more paperwork. Overall, it does tend to be a great time for making contacts, learning new stuff, putting the feelers out there, and also, you know, over the wires as well. So maybe you're burning up the wires more. And then from the 18th, discussions could revolve around property, family, the home base, a space, inside, outside. Correspondence or speculation may be about points on the map, travel. You may be mulling things over and remembering things from the past. There could be more contact with the past in some way or another, or with maybe parents and others from, you know, in the family from your past, or friends, and you could be considering a tradition of some kind, or just harking back to history. Whatever's going on, your feelings do tend to be a little bit closer to to your logical thinking processes. So you know, they could muddy the waters at times. So just be aware of that and be careful. But yes, a very mentally busy and sociable time in and around HQ. Mercury does line up with Neptune from the 20th onwards, so that may muddy the waters even more. There's mixed messages, you don't quite get the full picture, somebody isn't telling you everything, or you didn't quite catch that, or they get the wrong end of the stick, or you do, because there's crossed wires, or maybe it's communication problems, you can't connect, you know, for whatever the reason, and that can be the result of outside factors. But you could be more easily influenced or swayed by others' opinions, what others tell you, or enchanted, even hypnotized, and also not just other people, but by a locality, none of which is bad, but just be aware and try to keep things as realistic as possible. From the 21st, there's a brighter, less inward vibration around, and that could manifest as more opportunities to be in an environment where you can play and enjoy, you get more leisure time, downtime, you can kick up your heels a little bit and sort of trot around happily, feeling more empowered. It could put you at the center of attention for some reason as well. Hopefully that's a good one. And could be more emphasis on the affairs of children, youngsters, pets, or just more regular connection with those or them, and also romantic partners as well, more regular connections, more emphasis on them. And you could be having more time for, you know, entertainments, leisure, the arts, appreciating art more, and maybe working on some sort of project which maybe is a bit of a risk, maybe is like speculative, maybe you're kind of just thinking about what possibilities there could be there, what's the potential. In the last 2 days of the month, the new moon in Aries does line up with Uranus, Pluto and Jupiter, so you may feel the need to bust out of whatever's holding you back. It is definitely time for you to explore a broader perspective and get the eagle eye view. Venus completes her mega transit of Capricorn on the 6th. Venus has been in quite a good area for you concerning money, property, possessions, other basic stuff. So it means you can do okay in financial negotiations, getting a bargain. Maybe there's a situation where it's a little bit easier for you. Something comes along which just eases the general sort of financial or material situations that you've been in, and you can do better with buying, selling, renting, leasing, and applying for funding or investments. You know, it just oils the wheels having a Venus there. And so you should appreciate that, appreciate maybe what you have as well, and also maybe maintain better or preserve more things that are valuable to you. Physically, if things have been out of balance, then this Venus transit can help you to find that physical equilibrium again. And if you use the Venus energy well, certain others will really value you for your skills, your talents, your abilities, and you will tend to value theirs as well. Any conflicts over possessions or property matters can be harmonized over that long Venus transit. Also, you could be using your skills or your talents in a more artistic, imaginative kind of a way during this Venus transit too. Pluto also in this sector for many years. Pluto's already been there for many long years and will continue to be there until 2025 in this very materialistic sector of your solar chart. So over that long transit, there's got to be some kind of letting go. Pluto is the transmuter. Pluto is the evolver. So letting go of old scenarios related to the piggy bank, property, possessions, things that you've thought you could never let go of, now you will find what their true value now is to you. And maybe some of those things that you thought you'd never be able to imagine your life without, you will have to let go of them, and in some cases you'll just choose to, because your values are shifting, you see. And there could be a complete reversal of some sort of previous material setup. The old order, therefore, will be crumbling in this area, and you're clearing the decks for a new dawn, and you know, you're upcycling yourself and possessions, your space, all of that feeling of regeneration going on there, and rising phoenix-like from the ashes of the old way. And you may make better use as well of your inborn talents, developing them to a higher level over this long period. So hold the vision of how you would like it to be. Now, in some ways, the current position of Saturn is, as I've said before, a time of preparation for when it comes into your sign at the end of this year, Sagittarius. And this is a good time for you to be doing more inner work, maybe doing, you know, heavier work behind the scenes on projects, but also tying up loose ends from the past. Being there very much in a routine, consistent kind of a way for others, for their support as well. Whether that's in your personal life or business type reasons, you've got to be there. And in some cases, they're just not going to grasp how much you are putting yourself out for them and how much you're just pushing your own desires on one side. But this is a karmic house, so in a way, you are ending a huge cycle in your life. And by the end of this year, it'll be about 29 years that you're sort of tying up, and then moving on into new structures, new beginnings. Venus moves on March the 6th, so she goes into a very social sector of your chart. Oh, it's going to be all about socializing, rubbing shoulders, mixing, mingling, meeting, greeting, chattering away, listening, being alert to what's new on the block, finding yourself in maybe varying environments, having to adapt. Some of you could be in exchanges with others who appreciate the way you express yourself, and yes, and tell you about that, and you know, make you feel good. Also, you could have more access to environments which are attractive and beautiful, even exotic. This transit could bring more warmer relationships with siblings or soul brothers and sisters, just people that you click with, that you feel a connection with, and you can do better, quite well in fact, and even better than quite well with, if you play your cards right, you know, with buying, selling, promotional type activities. And if you want to settle a feud, then this is a good time for that. And you could even find that you team up with someone who can really support you in all of this, and also maybe, you know, with being on a journey which is kind of a learning curve for you both. Now, until July, Mars is in a very sociable and progressive area of your solar chart. That's a great transit for you, Sagittarius. It's quite technology orientated too. So things like the internet or the peripherals to do with the internet may be emphasized over this time. You'll tend to be the initiator with projects, because you'll have to be, because it's, you know, your turn to stand up and step up to the plate. Within a group, or because of a group, or through a group of others, maybe who have got interests in common. Mars can be a bit pushy, so on the flip side, there could be tensions between you and a friend or an associate, and due to them, you know, life can become somewhat more demanding and a tad more annoying at times, but you've just got to be on the ball. Mars energy is quite competitive. It likes to get going with things. Just avoid being hasty. You know, do your homework, as it were, and don't allow others to kind of push you into doing something that you don't really feel quite right about or ready for yet. This is a more future-orientated phase, and you'll be thinking very much about the future and how you'd like things to unfold, especially with things which maybe were shelved a long time ago, Sagittarius. Sometimes, you know, we can think that not with remorse, but sort of like with slight sort of a bit sentimentally, that we never got the chance to have a shot at this or that or the other. Well, this can be a time when you do get a chance to move, maybe just to make one move in a certain direction. So in general, it's a phase to get the ball rolling, expecting the unexpected. This is a very surprising area of the chart as well, and the inspirational to come to you, maybe out of a clear blue sky along the way. And then until next July, Jupiter, your ruling planet, will be putting a beneficial emphasis onto your joint financial areas, so that's great. Materially, your life could grow and expand through the contribution of certain critical or key associations, or through a partnership. So this can mean more money, possessions, improved physical conditions, materially as well, improvements, all of that kind of made available to you. And of course, you're the one that's got to reach for it, but it's there, and the vibration is there. You know, so yeah, and to make it real, to make it solid. So this can mean those kinds of material improvements, finding them easier to access through a key relationship or certain key relationships. And it may be a different financial strategy or setup becomes a useful resource for you. And it may be some kind of moral debt as well that's settled, or a financial debt that's settled over this phase, whether that's you or somebody to you. Yeah, that sounds like good news as well. That's all about tying up loose ends from the past. And that's it for March. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, listen to the forecast for those. They're here somewhere. And also, if you want any more details about, you know, the dates of birth in your sign, the transits may be affecting certain transits, not all of them, then you'll find all that on DianaGarland.com. And I'll see you the next time.